Good evening, Internet, your very good health. And tonight we're tackling one of the greatest guitar players of all time, probably the most prolific session player of all time. It's the fantastic Larry Carlton. And we're going to get straight into this then with a lick from It Was Only Yesterday. Now here we're using the G minor pentatonic, position 1. It's got a bass camp, a framework to hang some colour tones on. So I'm not going to go through and try and belabor the fingering on each note. We're going to put some tab in the description as per usual. You know the drill by now, both of you. And so let's get straight into this. So I'm going to slow that down a little bit, break it down for you. So we're going to start. So right there, I've got E, G, B flat. So that's actually a little diminished triad there that's slipped in there. Then down to C on the 17th fret G, E flat on the 16th fret B. So you've already got a little bit of interplay between the E and the E flat there. Kind of a Dorian vibe into a minor vibe. Then back some standard pentatonic stuff. Then a slightly wider interval line here, hitting the G on the 20th fret of the B and pulling off to the E flat on the 16th. Up back in the standard pentatonic fare up here. And down, this is quite an interesting one, E flat, pulled off to C here, before back into standard pentatonic territory. And then up here, finish the lick off, we're actually on an A flat, which you bend up and then resolve the G root. So I'm going to try and play this one through slowly without screwing it up, before playing it slightly faster and almost definitely screwing it up. And it's a really interesting way of seeing how Larry Carlton, even though he's Larry Carlton, this sort of jazz fusion genius, still works with the same basic tools that us mortals do, but just manages to tweak them ever so subtly, turn them into something a little bit special. Okay, we're going to move on now to the famous Kid Charlemagne solo, which is the one he's best known for in his kind of fusion circles. Now this is played over a C7 vamp. And we're starting off fairly familiar territory. Here's my position for A minor pentatonic. A minor equals C major. So makes no, it's really no surprise that we start 14th on the D, 12th on the G, 14th on the D. Little ghost note there, very, very faint, barely brushes that B note on the 16th fret G. You can bet he meant to do it, not like us. And then we're sliding to the E note on the 17th fret B, resolving to the root, 17th fret on the G. And then we have a slightly atonal sounding rundown. And what's really is that wide interval of a third between the D there and the B flat, C to A flat. Now that's really the only out of key note before we run down this, I suppose you could call it an E flat arpeggio. G, E flat, E flat. Now at this point, the chord he's playing over has moved on to an F. So you're superimposing an E flat over an F. You're getting the E flat functioning as the flat 7, you're getting the G functioning as the 9, and the B functioning as the 11th. So you wind up with effectively an F11 harmony from an F7, from an F chord plus an E flat chord. Very clever, but surprisingly easy to play as well. So I'm going to play through this at a slow tempo. Take note amount of the finger rolls needed to get between the 15th fret B and G, 13th fret B and G, and then here's my E flat arpeggio. And then third lick, we're moving on to minute by minute, which is in the key of C, largely. And starts on an E flat, so that's minor third hammered into major third, sorry, B flat hammered into B. Now, although it's in the key of C, this is actually played over a G backing. So you can see there he's hammering the minor third into the major third. Fingering all the time he's playing over the G, the 5 chord in this key. And then really, it's the 3 frets back rule. We're seeing E minor pentatonic being used to give us a G major sound. And he walks his way up into second position, the 15th and 17th frets, finishing off with a high root note here on the 15th fret, and then tagging it. A little slide there from the A note on the 14th fret G, that's the second, up to the B on the 16th fret, that's the major third, and then there's a root note sold with a little bit of vibrato at the end there. And a little bit of a clash there with the minor third in there, I think makes the payoff of the major notes and the payoff of the resolution to the root even more satisfying. Okay, now this last lick isn't quite, this is not a direct transcription from Larry Carlton. This is sort of a portmanteau, if you like, a sort of a push together of a variety of patterns that he uses for his speedier stuff in his signature instrumental Room 335. So this is, although it's in the key of D, we are using the F sharp minor pentatonic, or rather F sharp blues you might say, fingering pattern. Now this is on purpose. As students of mine will know, whatever key you're in, you can take the minor pentatonic of any minor chord. So for D, you've got the minor chords of E minor, F sharp minor and B minor. You can use B minor pentatonic, but what's also less well known is you can also use the F sharp minor and the E minor pentatonic. D is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Might want to make a quick note of that. E minor pentatonic has E, G, A, B and D, so there's no clashes there. F sharp minor pentatonic has F sharp, A, C sharp, B and E, although not necessarily in that order, so there's no clashes there. B minor pentatonic, B, D, E, F sharp and A, so that's fine as well. So we take the F sharp minor, we also add C to it because he's going outside and using the blues scale pattern. With this note here, which would be a flat 5, isn't functioning as a flat 5, it's actually a C, a flat 7. So here's a little chromatic run, gives you between the 6th, flat 7 and the major 7. And you can see there, we finish up by switching positions up into position 2 and finishing on an A note there, the chord's 5th. And we know the 5th, that's already leading sound. Look at that. It's our magic 3 notes, plus the adjacent one. Speed it up a little bit. So there we go. I hope that's been useful. So all the tab will be linked in the description below. What I've found very useful is realizing that even somebody like Larry Carlton isn't using things that are particularly far out. He's just taking the everyday stuff that we all know and just tweaking it slightly. So things like overlaying F sharp blues over something in the key of D It's ingenious. It's just that little bit dissonant, but he always manages to resolve it nicely to a root note. Just tweaking you with a touch of the outside, and he's not really using any particularly exotic scale shapes that do it. So even the greats do more with less. And because he's not thinking about scale shapes the entire time, he's thinking musically. And he's free to move around and blend these notes together, always coming back to just a few basic shapes. So I think there's a lesson in there for all of us. So hope you found that useful. Please do drop a like and smash that subscribe. All that. One day I'll be able to say that with a straight face. And I will see you in a month again for the next one. Make sure you've warmed up because it's going to be John Petrucci. There's be a lot of notes. A lot of notes. Anyway, farewell Internet. See you again soon.